Welcome. Brad's house. Nothing special. Just another dump in Long Beach. You know, I call home.
If you put the biscuit down, maybe you could record Corey.
I'm changing the refrigerator to a vending machine. Gary's gonna be all pissed off next week.
Why? Why are you doing that? How are your kids gonna get stuff?
They're gonna get a pay card.
A pay card?
Yeah, like one of those cards that's already prepaid. You got to bring your money.
I'm gonna go take a shower. You're talking too much smash.
You do not live here.
Tell these people about your shit.
Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. And he does not live here.
The more you say that, the more they think I live
Go
here.
away, okay? Back to today. We've got a good one, and I can't wait because it's probably one of my favorite things to do, and it's what I was brought up on because it's all I could afford, and that is nitrous. Funny story about this, and we'll go back to this on, is I might have stole a kit off of my car for the S10 project. And if you guys want to go back and check that out, you'll see me just produce a nitrous kit on the show. And that was because I actually went to this car, the OG rat rod that we're going to be working on today, and took the plate and solenoids off because I actually messed up a set that we had and I had to replace them, and we had no budget and they just replaced them. So we stole a kit off of the rat rod and it worked out in my favor because now I can actually go through an install video on probably the first style nitrous kit that I was introduced to, and probably the easiest nitrous style kit to put on your car. So our good friends over at Nitrous Express sent us out a replacement nitrous kit. It's a 4150 style nitrous kit. This is a plate. It's a plate that goes in between, most of you guys would relate to throttle bodies. So in between the throttle body and the intake manifold, and that is actually what we're gonna be doing it on because this car is fuel injection. So we're gonna be doing a plate kit between the throttle body and the intake manifold. Now this is the same kit that's used for carburetors. So if you have a carburetor, it would be in between the intake manifold and the carburetor, and it's a plate. So let's go ahead and open it up. I'll explain what we got and we'll go from there. All right, guys. All right. My favorite part about opening a new box, and I'll be honest with you, is the merch. They love us. They always give us t-shirts. So this is one of their other shirts. This one's got the heart, obviously the heart of nitrous, heartbeat of nitrous. All right, plate kit. 4150. I keep saying that number and everybody like looks at you funny when you say numbers because it's like makes you smarter than everybody else because you said a number. No. 4150 is the bolt flange that is standard on certain carburetors. That's this bolt pattern. So this is a 4150 style bolt pattern or a plate that goes in between the throttle body and the intake, carburetor and the intake. And it has nozzles all along down here, and we'll go over and show you these when we open them up and put it on the car, and it sprays nitrous and fuel down into the intake. Now if you look down here, it's got a bunch of horsepowers. It'll say right there, horsepower, and this kit's good from 50 horsepower all the way up to 300 horsepower. So I know we probably will not be around that 300 horsepower because that's exactly what the motor makes. We'll probably shoot for somewhere around 100 and 150. And we're gonna get this thing all put on today, but we're not gonna be doing any testing of it today. We'll probably come back to doing a couple nitrous tests later because we've actually gotta get the fuel injection dynoed. So we're gonna do an install today. We'll get back to this car on the dyno, and then we'll be doing some nitrous pulls. Welcome back, guys. We're outside and we're about to get ready. I noticed in the comments you guys all ask about my big furry creatures, so we'll do a little intro so you guys can meet them. I'm not gonna open any pages for them, you guys. I'm not gonna be like Vargas and cash out on my puppy dogs, but this is Abby girl, and she's about 7 years old, and she's a big puppy dog. She doesn't know she's 7. She thinks she's like 2 or 3. She has a licking problem. She likes to jump up and lick people. She's also the guard dog. This is the one you gotta worry about if you're gonna get bit. This is the one that's gonna bite you. Now, she is what's called a Labradoodle, so a Lab Poodle mix. She's just a big lover. But that's our Labradoodle, and her name's Abby. All right, go Abby. Now this is the big puppy dog. This is Charlie. Charlie is a Dober Dane, which is a Doberman kind of Great Dane thing. And she is a crybaby. So she is a huge dog, and she's a lover, but she's also one of my buddies. All right, go guys. Dad's gonna go to work. Go, go, go. And you'll have to watch this dog. This dog likes to chase lights. So you'll see her walking around staring at the ground. It's because the camera is putting a little reflection down, And she's a hunting dog, so she's always hunting something. Watch, you'll see her. She's always, or trying to lick. She'll lick her. So there's my dogs, you guys. I answered that question for you, and let's get some nitrous on. This is our nitrous plate. And basically, if you look at it, the system is a bunch of holes that shoot the nitrous down across the fuel and atomize the nitrous in the air. So we're gonna put it so that the fuel is forward and the nitrous is backwards, and that's because my fuel pressure regulator is right here and I got it blocked off, and that's what I'm gonna use to feed the actual fuel solenoid, because you have to give this kit fuel and nitrous. It's a wet plate kit. So plate goes in between. Like I said, this is my throttle body, comes off, and it looks like a carburetor, but it's just a throttle body. My injectors are down here. And then here's a plate. The plate slides right on. We went ahead and put longer studs on. They came in the kit, came with the gaskets. It's really nice, super easy. Sliding the other gasket back on and sliding the throttle body on. And basically putting our hardware back on. And that is how hard it is to install the plate for the nitrous kit. So let's move forward and get all these connectors all on here. We're not gonna put this hardware on yet because I've got to find a place for the solenoids to mount, and I'm probably going to use one of these each for the brackets, kind of like these are, and we're going to see how that works out. So let's move forward. It says fuel right there on that side, right? So this is our fuel jet, this is our fuel side. We're going to put the jet right inside there, see how it fits all nicely. And the thing you know is this won't seal unless that jet's on there. So we're going to go ahead and just loosely tighten this up because I don't know exactly where my solenoid I want it. So we're just gonna leave it like that so we can turn this in 360 degrees for now. And we're gonna go to our fuel solenoid, which is this one. And we know this because it says fuel on it. I'll show you right here. Fuel in. So what we're gonna have to do is get fuel pressure and go into the solenoid so that when we drive it or give it power, it's gonna allow fuel out. So before I get that set up, I'm gonna go ahead and put blue Loctite, blue Loctite, blue Loctite, and Loctite all these fittings in. And then the next point would be to figure out where we wanna slide this guy, and we can cut this down too, on here and mount this. I'm believing over here in this direction is gonna be about where we're gonna want it, because I want to loop this fuel hose right here to here. We're going to put a little T in the fuel return line and go from here to here for the fuel. So the nitrous goes in, nitrous goes out, and then this is a through so that we can do the purgy thing that you guys like, the psh, psh, psh. This is just a purge solenoid, that's it. I rarely use mine, but I usually always put them on the car. I'm gonna find another pinch. All right, so that comes out of here, and we'll put that somewhere where it goes so everybody can see it. But this one's built, this one's built, this is nitrous, this is fuel. So now we need to go to and mount these up and find out where they sit. Again, this is why we left this undone, is because I knew we were gonna need to see this. But we'll just pull this off real quick. Oops. Over here, this is where our jets are going. Jets right here. There's the fitting, goes on to seal. Because this sensor's over here, I think I'm gonna go that way again with the solenoid. So both solenoids will end up being on that side and wire this way. So these have what's called a ferrule fitting. This is the ferrule. So you put the nut on like that, slide the ferrule on like that, and then this solenoid goes with the nitrous coming out this way. So nitrous is just gonna come out, it's gonna go in here, and it's gonna spray down there. Fuel is gonna do the same thing on this side. So this is a really good position down here, just about right like that. And we'll go ahead and tighten that on there like that and get that all set up and good to go, because I like that position. I just did that backwards. So nitrous was coming in here and fuel's coming in here. Well, if you guys look, it says it right here. Fuel. So wrong one. Right jet, wrong one. 57 is nitrous. So we're just gonna slip this over here and go like that. It's no big deal. Easy fix, easy change. This fuel solenoid is going to get fuel from right here. We're gonna put a T here and a little fitting and go boom, boom, from fuel to here to here. So that's right. We're just gonna go ahead and crank that on. Here's our jet. Our jet goes in. Bada bing, bada boom. Here's my other one. And we're gonna put our solenoid on. Now this one I'm gonna face the fuel that comes in this way, nitrous coming in this way, and then the nitrous purge out that way. So, something like this. This guy back on. We'll leave that kind of loose for now because I'm still not 100% sure. Oh, that thing got twisted around there. Let's get that out of there. So we'll do the purge up over here. We'll shoot the purge out that way. And then our nitrous bottle line will come in here, go down the frame rail and up to, I think we're gonna mount the nitrous bottle on the roof again like where we had it before. So we went in and put the T in, and we went from an 1/8 inch to the -3. That way we could use the -3 stainless steel hard line or soft line that I have right here, left over from another project, Brad Zone. And we can go right here to the solenoid. So now we have fuel going in, and when we energize the solenoid with these wires, we'll have fuel going out to the plate, and our fuel side is all done. So that's how hard it was to do the fuel on this kit. It's really easy when you have the fuel pressure regulator mounted up here at the front and the fuel rails. You can tee at any part of the fuel rail or by the fuel pressure regulator. And a lot of the fuel pressure regulators have extra ports for that. All right, fuel comes out of the regulator to the solenoid, out of the solenoid, through the jet, in the jet, and down the plate. Ready to make power. So these are our wires to our purge solenoid. And these are our wires to our nitrous solenoid. What we're gonna do is we're gonna put all the grounds together and ground them somewhere here on the motor and then run the power leads in. But what I like to do before I actually do any of these wiring is what I'll do is I'll test all these solenoids, because I've had instances where we've got everything together wired pretty and all nice and we had an issue. So what I'm going to do is take a battery and I'm going to jump these solenoids and make sure there's clicking and that they're actually working. I'm also going to make sure that I have pressure to the solenoid and to the bottle to make sure that I have any leaks at this point. So I'm actually checking it under what I call a load condition, but without the motors on. We can actually take this off. I'll take it off again and let you guys see like the psh, psh, psh of what it's doing. And we can actually see the atomization of the fuel. So it's kind of cool. Okay, so I'm turning this on and now I know that this line has pressure in it. So these solenoids, if I had a leak, we would start seeing the leaky out of there. This is a push lock, so it just basically pushes in like that, and we can route it to, I'm saying like somewhere over here. Let's put it through this hole for now. So in theory, if we did everything right, this solenoid here would purge. So there's positive, there's negative, right? Tell it's an empty bottle because there's no white coming out. Normally there'd be white. The bottle's so empty, it's not funny. But we know that we have pressure to the system. We know our solenoid's working. We can go on to our next solenoid, which is actually the nitrous solenoid. That's this one right here. And that one we're gonna see, and it's gonna be going down here. So again, put it on one side, tap it on the other. Hear it going down there. Now, third solenoid's this guy. We're gonna go ahead and pressurize the fuel system. So now you can hear, and the fuel pressure is at 43 PSI, including the fans on. And we're gonna take the solenoid and do the same thing. You should be able to look down there and see fuel. So let's try it with both. You'll see like the atomization. Putting our grounds together, our positives together. Don't freak out, you guys, just because of red and black. It's just these are red wires and these are black wires. So there's your nitrous system. So we're good. Now we're gonna go on. So we got it pulled out, we got it fired up, and now we got to get this wiring done. So we are gonna wire it and send it to the moon. So let's get this thing wiring and let's get going. So if you guys notice, this isn't even attached because we don't have it tuned for the boost yet. I'm waiting for my appointment and we are gonna go take it to get it tuned. So today, I think we're just gonna run the nitrous in, do a quick run and hit it on a very small shot, making sure the nitrous is good. And then when we get to the dyno, we'll double tune the turbo and the nitrous. But we'll definitely clean up some of these vacuum lines and some of these wires right now. All these solenoid wires, these are a solenoid. They have 2 wires each. One wire I'm just gonna make up to a ground, probably this carb bolt. And then the other wire, I'm gonna bring the 2 together and bring it to the button. And then the one for the purge, I'll bring that in also, and I'll bring that to another button. So this is the first car that I've actually built from scratch. This car, I've always done like the cookie cutter builds, the things that I always joke about everybody about buying parts and just putting it on a car and saying you built a car, because technically you didn't really build a car. The guy that built those parts is the first one who built the car. You just cookie cuttered. You bought the dough, rolled it out, and put it in the oven, and you got your car. These are custom cars. Like literally I bought the body with a completely different frame. I made my own doors, made my own chassis. This suspension is not even, this isn't even a suspension you'd put on a car. This is a quarter elliptic. These are Jeep springs turned over backwards. These are the arms that are for a truck and they're supposed to go the other way. See like this, they're supposed to go down to lift the truck up, but I flipped them over to lower the car down. Like there's all sorts of weird things that are going on. I cut off the ears that go on here that actually go to, I forgot what it was, but I mean it's a hodgepodge of different things. There's nothing that was like original. The funny thing about this is this piece of chromoly right here, this is actually 2.5 inch chromoly, that's 1/4 inch wall thickness. This piece of steel is on both cars. If you go look at the other T-bucket, it's the same piece of steel. But frame rails, this is 2 by like 5.5, or it's supposed to be 6, but I think it's like 5.5. And this was gonna be a trailer. This frame rail right here, when I originally bought this material, I wanted to build myself a car trailer. And I was like, yeah, I'm gonna build my own car trailer. Then I saw rat rods and I was like, oh, I should just use that material to build that. And this is way overkill. This is why this car weighs almost 3,000 pounds. It's because of this big ass thick frame rail. Again, I used Heims from off-road. If you go back here and you look, this was a link kit that I actually had on one of my trucks that I took off because one of my trucks I went 4-link and then I went back to leaf springs and I went back to coilovers and I don't know, I just went back and forth. This is a triangulated 4-link that was on one of my trucks that I ended up putting on here. It's just hodgepodge parts. This is a spare one of the 1-ton rear ends that I had laying around. And this is actually dually 1-ton rear end. It's got welded gears in it that's been welded for, I don't know, since 02. It's a long time. No, I'm sorry, 2010. That's a lie, 2010. This was built 2010. Yeah, this is the, I want to say, this is the 4th motor. This is the 3rd motor combination, the 4th motor. Hold on, we got the data. The first motor, and we'll go back and I'll show you guys on the internet, was a turbocharged small block Chevy, and it had like 16 plates on it. It was like nitrous and everything, and we painted it different colors. and that motor didn't last. And then I built a 377, which is a D-stroked small block 400, and we put it on a kit of nitrous, and that motor is still running today in a friend's car. And then I built a big block, and I put it on 2 kits of nitrous. So I had a big block with 2 stages of nitrous, and then I got kicked out of the track. So I built the other car, the T-Bucket, and now it's got the smallest, most shittiest 4.8 liter, $500 eBay junkyard motor. Done nothing to. Straight delivered to my door for $500 from eBay, 4.8 liter, never even cleaned it really. Just put it in and hammer down. I don't even think this thing works. This thing's been sitting in the backyard forever. I'm gonna have to figure that out too. But today we're gonna finish the nitrous, squeeze this bitch, and then go get it tuned at Edelbrock with the turbo. Another cool things about this car is I had built a property out in Temecula, and the neighbor had this carcass sitting in his front yard. And I told him, man, someday I would love to buy that and build it. And he told me jokingly, you bring me a bottle of Jack Daniels, $500, and a bag of flowers, and I'll give you the car. And I was like, wow, that'd be cool. Well, towards the end of when I was living there, I was like, man, I better get that car before I ever move out. I called him up, I'm like, hey, does that deal still stand? You know, if I bring you everything you said? Absolutely. I bring him over everything he asked for, and we loaded the car back up. And there's some pictures of that too with his backhoe. He literally took it off of the ground, picked it up, put it in the trailer, and about the only thing that fell apart was the window. Like blew out on the way back, but original frame, I refused to cut it. I didn't want to chop it. Original posts, original metal. And now the story behind the car is this family homesteaded this property. They've been on this property for over 150 years. The parents, grandparents, ran a Vietnam chicken farm, and it sounds funny, Vietnam chicken farm. So during the Vietnam War, we raised chickens for eggs, and we harvested eggs for the Vietnam War, and that was out in the Temecula area. That farm was ran by this family, and this car pulled chicken carts to gather eggs. So this was just like a farm implement truck. It just sat around the farm and pulled a little cart, and they gathered eggs on it. So I thought it was a neat piece of history, and that's why I got it. And it's been shot. If you look over here, they shot it a bunch of times. That's the one side of the bullet, that's the other side of the bullet, and then if we go over here, you'll see. Bing, 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 bing. So they used to shoot at it thinking it was funny. I never fixed it. This gives a character. But this is original, and then I made my own doors because they're factory doors, I want to say, and I'm gonna get caught on this, 19 inches, like that much. I made the doors like 24 inches, which allowed it to have a back seat and more feet room, which is the problem with the T-Bucket. There's no feet room at all. This car is actually comfortable to sit in and ride in. These seats, and you can go to the pictures, are Mustang seats that we chopped the tops off with a Sawzall and had it reupholstered. You can go back to the pictures and see like how we made the whole interior. And then I didn't even have a cage on it. We put this cage on it after it first got kicked out, and then they still didn't like it. They're like, no, 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 this car's a mess, get out of here. Best part about this car is never intended to be nice. It's always supposed to be shitty, a rat rod. And it's not a hot rod, it's a rat rod. So it's easy to keep it shitty. Okay, it's a horrible trick, you guys. So if you have a loop and you don't want to take the whole bolt out, you cut the end off like that. That way you can slide it onto the bolt without taking the whole nut and bolt out. Let me get this underneath this washer. Bam, just like that. There you go. Hack trick of the day. Hood rat shit. Nice. That's the purge. We're ready to party. So purge is down here. And buttons up here. That's the party button. So we cracked the bottle, just testing for leaks. We got good bottle pressure everywhere. We saw the first leak up there. Now let's see if the purge works. Oh, we got purges. Want more purges? All right. So let's go. Hopefully not blow this motor up. Starter hits the flex plate. Yeah, that's what happens when we knock this tranny out that last time. We got it wired up. We got it plumbed up. You guys saw how easy it was. Just a matter of mounting the plate, putting the solenoids on, jetting it. We jetted it really, really small because we know we're not in full tune right now. We're just checking the systems to make sure that everything works. Running the purge, and then the 2 wires in. So it's that simple to do a nitrous system. Now, is it that simple to put a nitrous system and be safe? No. You need to have it tuned. So don't think that just slamming it on like this is perfect. It's not. We're testing it, and we're gonna get back to tuning it to get you guys some final numbers on what it actually makes. But I just wanted to show you, this is how easy it is. And this car loves nitrous. It's been on nitrous its whole life. I think it was a little sad when we didn't have it on it. So thank you, Nitrous Express. Let's go squeeze it. I wanted suicide doors because they were cool. But then I realized one time that when you haul ass, oops, that they fly open, and then you have suicide doors that run into your tire. So this doors came around, and if you look on the outside right here, and hit the tire, and sat against the tire back there. So the suicide doors are cool, but the latching system, my gate latching system, isn't so good. She asked if there was seatbelts. There's no seatbelts in this car. Are you kidding me? When I was going 10s, this car had harnesses on this side, and that's it. But it never had seatbelts. 28. And it's quiet. That's what I like about this one. So it's a 4.8 liter factory from the junkyard, $500 motor. We have our $150 max speeding rod GT45. We have our Edelbrock Pro EFI or Pro 4 fuel EFI kit, which we're gonna go get tuned here real soon. And that's it. It's just a boofy car. Fully automatic, 350. You don't have to shift. Just go. Bang bang, see? So nice. We gotta have some show cars, we can't have all go cars. So this thing ain't so too fast. Not right now, but she runs. Look at that oil pressure. Good ass oil pressure. And we're not barely at 140 yet, we're not even at 10. This thing's a beast. I'm gonna go to Vegas. Look, I got my truck driver skull. Yeah. Looking at you with the red eyes. Oh, the gas pedal. Brake pedal. Whoa, hear that turbo? Z would beat this thing. Here we go. Mexico, across the border. Here we go.
Here we go, across the border.
Crossing the border, back to Mexico. Maybe see if we can do it.
Uh-oh.
Oh yeah, look at that. Woo! Again, look at the tire. Watch how I do that again. Ready? I can't do it in the driveway. The neighbor will get mad. Allegedly. Allegedly, the neighbor does not like us doing burnouts anymore in the driveway. Oh man, this thing is so much fun. See, you should put nitrous in your car. You ready to put nitrous in the Z?
Yeah.
Okay. They just spit water all over us. All right. Thank you guys for not subscribing, hanging out, playing. Merch is coming. I know you guys have been asking. Hang on, dude. It's coming. Great partners coming up. Thank you, Nitrous Express. Thank you, Edelbrock. Thanks, Mock Speeding Rods. So, again, all you guys are great partners. And I'm looking forward to working with all the new partners that we're going to release here in 2020. But stay tuned. The Tacoma's coming. If you're smoking that much, you know you had a good time.